What if Christmas didn't mean shopping, rushing, or spending at all? What if the season was so carefully prepared that by December 25th, not a single thing was left undone? For the Amish, that isn't a fantasy, it's every year. And their approach to Christmas may completely change how you see the holiday. Food storage and harvest planning. Long before Christmas baking begins, Amish families look to the shelves of their basements and pantries packed with jars from the fall harvest. Because Amish cooking leans heavily on preserved foods, families must calculate how much of their canned vegetables, fruits, meats, and grains they can dedicate to the holiday without compromising the rest of winter. Potatoes stored in root cellars get checked for sprouting. Canned peaches, apples, corn, green beans, and preserved meats are organized so meals can be planned accurately. This early inventory determines whether additional trips are needed to bulk grocery stores or produce auctions. Since Christmas gatherings often involve feeding 20 to 30 people, careful management of stored food ensures the family will have both enough variety and enough quantity. Preparing in advance also prevents unnecessary last-minute travel, especially important during cold weather months when buggies move slowly, daylight is short, and roads are unpredictable. The season begins not with shopping, but with stewardship. Fall planning and budgeting. Amish Christmas preparation doesn't begin in December. It begins in September or October, right as the summer fields are cleared and families shift their focus from harvest to winter planning. This is when Amish households sit down and assess how much cash they've saved throughout the year, how far it needs to stretch, and what expenses must be prioritized. Without credit cards or loans, every dollar must already be in hand before the season arrives. Budgets are divided carefully between gifts, special Christmas meals, travel by buggy, community giving, and hospitality for relatives who will be visiting. Families also begin discussing what gifts will be made, which ingredients need stocking, and whether any extra expenses must be anticipated. Planning early prevents financial stress and ensures that when December arrives, no one is scrambling, borrowing, or overspending. The Amish goal is simple: welcome Christmas with gratitude, peace, and absolutely no debt. Handmade gifts, men and children. While women sew, men head to their workshops, where the smell of sawdust and linseed oil becomes part of the Christmas season. After evening chores are done, fathers and older sons craft wooden toys, wagons, blocks, doll furniture, shelves, stools, and sometimes small tables meant as major gifts. Everything is made with hand tools or non-electric equipment, requiring patience and precision. Each piece is sanded smooth, safe, and built to last for generations. Meanwhile, children contribute in their own way. Younger kids draw pictures, sew simple crafts, or help their fathers assemble very small wooden items. These early lessons teach them that gifts represent effort and creativity, not money spent or brand names attached. In Amish homes, every family member participates in making Christmas meaningful. Gift creation becomes a bonding ritual, a quiet reminder that the holiday is about giving from the heart, not from a store shelf. Handmade gifts, women's sewing and quilting. For Amish women, Christmas gifting begins with fabric, thread, and a long list of people they love. As early as September, sewing rooms come alive with the humming sound of treadle sewing machines and the quiet rhythm of quilting frames. Gifts usually include clothing, new dresses for daughters, sturdy shirts for sons, aprons for mothers, and sometimes a soft quilt or doll quilt for grandchildren. Because every stitch is done by hand or using non-electric tools, these items require hours of patience and meticulous craftsmanship. A child's dress alone can take 8 to 10 hours, and many women sew for large families, meaning dozens of garments must be made before Christmas. Quilts, depending on size and pattern complexity, may require weeks of steady work. Every gift is a physical representation of time sacrificed, love expressed, and skill refined over years of practice. These gifts aren't just presents, they are heirlooms in the making. Store-bought gifts. The Amish do not forbid purchased gifts, but they strictly limit them to items impossible or impractical to make at home. This might include a necessary tool for work, a high-quality fabric not available locally, or an educational or religious book. These items are utilitarian and purposeful, never luxurious, trendy, or purely for entertainment. A tool gift must help with farming or craftsmanship, not be a novelty item. Books must enrich the mind or support faith, not simply entertain. And when these few practical gifts are purchased, they are bought with cash and with careful thought to avoid unnecessary spending. This mindset reinforces core Amish values: simplicity, usefulness, humility, and clear focus on what truly enriches a family's daily life. While mainstream Christmas often emphasizes quantity and excitement, Amish gift-giving embraces purpose and intention. Preserving and canning for Christmas gifts. Late fall is canning season, but as Christmas approaches, Amish women prepare additional batches of jams, jellies, fruit sauces, pickled items, and apple butter, specifically earmarked for holiday gifting. These jars represent much more than preserved fruit. They symbolize summer labor stored away for winter generosity. A jar of strawberry jam or spiced applesauce is a thoughtful, meaningful gift because it carries the flavor of warmer months and countless hours of tending gardens, harvesting fruit, and preserving in hot kitchens. Amish Christmas gifts revolve around usefulness and intention, and preserved foods fit that philosophy perfectly. They brighten winter meals, nourish families, and remind recipients of the giver's care. This tradition also ensures that Christmas giving remains affordable and deeply personal, rooted in the values of sharing abundance and honoring the work of one's own hands. Christmas baking and candy making. By early December, kitchens across Amish communities transform into bustling bakeries. An Amish mother might bake 20 dozen cookies or more, preparing enough for children, guests, neighbors, and upcoming church gatherings. Recipes include molasses cookies, butter cookies, sugar cookies, and traditional anise-flavored Amish Christmas cookies that keep well in cold pantries. Homes fill with warm, comforting smells as dough gets rolled, cut, and baked in continuous batches. Shortly after, the candy-making phase begins. Peanut brittle, fudge, caramels, and other sweets are prepared in large pots, poured into pans, cooled, cut, and wrapped. Children eagerly help stir and package, turning the work into a family activity. The candy not only fills treat jars at home, but becomes part of gift baskets and shared desserts at extended family gatherings. The Amish see baking not as a chore, but as a joyful, communal act that brings warmth into winter days. Church service preparation. Since Amish churches do not use dedicated church buildings, Christmas services are hosted in homes that must be prepared months in advance. The minister begins crafting a sermon weeks before Christmas, focusing on Christ's birth, humility, and gratitude. The song leader selects hymns from the Ausbund, Europe's oldest Anabaptist hymnal, sung slowly and without instruments. Children practice Bible verses and Christmas recitations beginning in November, often rehearsing after supper under their mother's supervision. Hosting families must prepare seating, lighting, and food for the congregation. Coordination happens quietly through church networks, so everyone knows where to gather and what to bring. Because Amish services rotate between homes, the Christmas service is a major responsibility, requiring spiritual preparation, hospitality, and careful timing. The goal is simple: honor Christ's birth through collective worship rooted in tradition, unity, and simplicity. Deep cleaning the home. In Amish culture, the home must reflect spiritual order and respect before any major holiday, especially Christmas. Deep cleaning begins well before December and includes tasks many modern families rarely tackle: scrubbing wooden floors on hands and knees, washing windows inside and out, even in freezing weather, removing curtains to wash and rehang, wiping walls to remove smoke residue from kerosene lamps, and clearing every shelf and corner of dust. Outdoor spaces are tidied, wood piles are stacked neatly, walkways cleared, barns and outbuildings swept and organized. Every member of the family participates. Older daughters handle bedrooms and laundry, younger children dust and tidy, and boys help maintain exterior spaces. This communal effort teaches responsibility and reinforces the idea that hospitality is a spiritual duty. When dozens of relatives visit over the holiday, the home must be ready, not for show, but for honor. Christmas dinner preparation. Amish Christmas dinner looks traditional on the surface: roast chicken or turkey, mashed potatoes, gravy, vegetables, homemade bread, pies. But preparing it for 20 to 30 guests without electricity is a major undertaking. Wood-fired ovens can only cook so much at once, meaning meats begin roasting at dawn or earlier. Potatoes are peeled the day before and stored in cold water. Rolls are shaped and baked ahead of time. Pies cool overnight, and tables are set with care. Families often shop for ingredients in bulk stores, buying large quantities, and sometimes coordinating with neighbors to split purchases. Because kitchen space and stove capacity are limited, timing is everything. Mothers and daughters work together to ensure each dish finishes exactly when needed. What looks simple and humble on the table represents hours of planning, teamwork, and seasoned skill. To the Amish, the food is part of the celebration, but the fellowship is the true feast. Extended family coordination. Because Amish families are large and widely connected, planning Christmas visits can feel like solving a friendly but complicated puzzle. Visits often span multiple homes in a single day: morning with one side of the family, afternoon with another, and evening with a third. Scheduling must be carefully coordinated to avoid overlapping mealtimes and ensure every group is fed properly without excess or waste. Some families limit gift exchanges between adults or draw names to simplify logistics. Others stick to children-only gifting. Buggy travel adds another layer of complexity. Families cannot travel long distances and return the same day, especially in winter. Therefore, distant relatives may require overnight stays or choosing only one household to visit. Planning begins weeks beforehand, usually after Sunday church services, as families quietly negotiate timing. It is a deeply relational process requiring patience, communication, and flexibility. Community giving and charity. Amish communities take Christmas charity seriously, but they do so quietly and anonymously. Church leaders discreetly identify families struggling due to illness, medical bills, crop failures, or financial hardship. Once recipients are chosen, the community organizes in secret. One family prepares baked goods, another contributes canned goods or jams, another adds meat from recent butchering. Cash gifts are placed in plain envelopes and slipped into mailboxes without names attached. Food baskets appear on porches with no explanation. Donors never seek recognition and recipients are never embarrassed. This system preserves dignity, encourages humility, and strengthens community bonds. The goal is simple: ensure that no family enters the Christmas season worried about food, expenses, or providing a special meal for their children. These acts of kindness reflect the Amish belief that generosity should be practiced quietly, as a service to God, not as a display to others. Final week preparation rush. The last days before Christmas are busy but not frantic. Amish families use plain brown paper or scraps of cloth to wrap gifts, avoiding commercial wrapping paper entirely. Final sweeping, scrubbing, and resetting of the home take place on December 23rd and 24th, so that Christmas morning begins in a spotless space. Kitchens are reorganized after heavy baking, bedrooms are tidied for guests, wood boxes are filled, and outdoor paths are cleared. Christmas Eve is calm and simple. No parties, no midnight services, no staying up late. Families often share a quiet meal, read the Christmas story from the Bible, and go to bed early so the next day can begin with peace and purpose. Everything, from food to gifts to the home itself, is completed beforehand, allowing Christmas morning to unfold without stress. Teaching children Amish Christmas values. Amish parents are intentional about shaping their children's understanding of Christmas from an early age. They explain that the holiday centers on Jesus Christ's birth, not Santa Claus or commercial traditions. Children learn to expect one or two practical gifts: a new dress, a book, a scarf, or a small wooden toy, not piles of presents. When children notice the decorations, lights, or gifts in non-Amish English homes, parents use the moment to gently explain different values, emphasizing gratitude, simplicity, and humility without criticizing others. December becomes a spiritually focused month. Bible readings highlight the nativity story, children memorize verses, siblings help each other learn recitations, and families discuss the deeper meaning of Christ's arrival. Amish Christmas joy comes not from material abundance, but from faith, family, and a sense of contentment intentionally practiced year after year. Christmas morning and final reflection. On Christmas morning, Amish families wake in a house that is fully prepared, food ready to cook, gifts wrapped and hidden, schedules coordinated, and hearts oriented toward gratitude. Instead of rushing, wrapping, or last-minute shopping, the day begins slowly with worship, family time, and fellowship. The contrast with mainstream Christmas traditions is striking. Modern families often scramble with last-minute purchases, crowded stores, and piles of gifts. The Amish focus instead on Jesus, family, simplicity, and handmade expressions of love. Their celebrations contain no debt, no pressure, and no frantic consumerism. In the Amish view, Christmas is not about abundance, but about intention. By preparing for months, they arrive at December 25th calm, ready, and spiritually grounded. Their way reveals a holiday centered not on consumption, but on meaning. If this glimpse into Amish Christmas preparation made you rethink what the holiday can feel like, you're not alone. Their traditions remind us that Christmas doesn't need pressure, noise, or clutter to be meaningful. It needs intention, faith, and time spent with the people who matter most. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.